San Francisco, 1852. Hordes of immigrants had turned the placid California village of Yerba Buena into a brawling city. The original Mexican inhabitants were helpless against the invasion of Anglos, were ruthlessly pushed aside. They were blamed for crimes they never committed. Out of their humiliation and despair grew the legend of Joaquin Murietta.
For the last time I ask you, won't you change your mind?
And for the last time, senor, the answer is no.
But Juan, what's the matter with you? I'm in love with Maria, she's in love with me, and I want to marry her.
My sister will not marry a gringo. I would kill her first. Come in.
I thought I told you to stay away from here.
You have no right to intrude in my personal life, Carter.
Jordan, if you want to make a fool of yourself, that's all right with me. But I won't have a partner in my business who is married to a Mexican. If you marry her, you'll have to get out of the bank.
I won't forget your sister, Pires. I'll be back.
That would be unfortunate for both you and my sister. Buenas noches, senor. Good night to you, senor.
Who is it, Jab?
Pete Jordan, the banker. And look at this.
Joaquin Murietta. I heard he was in this neighborhood.
California, California,
The Californians.
California, I've come to live where life is best. In the Golden West, I'm gonna strike it rich in California.
Marshal Wayne, what are you doing out on such a night?
Mr. Carter, your partner, Pete Jordan, is dead.
Is what? When? How'd it happen?
Knifed.
Well, do you have any idea who did it?
It could have been Murietta.
I told him to stay away from that Mexican woman.
Mexican woman?
Maria Perez. A man's asking for trouble, fooling around with Mexican women with a loco bandit like Murietta around.
You think Murietta killed him because of this Perez woman?
That's the way it figures to me.
Somebody said you were looking for Jordan earlier this evening.
That's right. I thought he might have been playing cards at the El Dorado. I couldn't find him, so I came right home.
What time was that?
Well, I came directly here from the El Dorado. I'd say about 8:30.
You haven't been out of the house since then?
That's right. Marshal, what is this? Why, you're acting as though you suspect me of the murder.
Well, you have to cover all possibilities. I understand that you and your partner had a falling out.
Well, that's right. It was a business difference. He was losing much too much money at your club, seeing that Perez woman. Sometimes monkey shines like that reflect on both members of a partnership.
Well, that's all. Good night, Mr. Carter.
Good night.
You said you haven't been out of the house since you got home from the El Dorado Club.
That's right.
What time was that?
Well, I said 8 or 8:30, didn't I?
Yes, you did. These clothes are wet. It didn't start to rain until after 9, Mr. Carter. Are you sure you're telling the truth?
Marshal, if you want to ask me any more questions, you'd better arrest me first.
I may do just that. Later. Good night, Mr. Carter. What do you know about the Perez girl?
Nice girl with a mean-tempered brother. Cut a man in a fight a while back.
Knife fight?
Yeah. You figure Juan had something to do with this?
Might have, if he's a knife man. Did he object to Jordan seeing his sister?
I don't know for certain. Offhand, I'd say yes. Most Mexicans are awful touchy about their women folk.
What were Jordan's relations with the girl?
The way I heard, he wanted to marry her. Doggone it, Matt, you're making an awful lot of trouble over this. We know who killed Jordan. It was right there on the wall over his body, Murietta.
Maybe.
Maybe nothing. Everybody knows Murietta hates Yankees, especially them that chases after Mexican girls. Why, they say he'd ride 1,000 miles to kill a man for that.
So every time a prospector gets his head blown off in Sacramento, while a speculator is getting his throat cut in San Jose, Murietta gets blamed for both crimes.
Matt, from what you told me before, you leaned pretty heavy on Mr. Carter tonight. He's a mighty big man around San Francisco.
Well, he lied to me about being out tonight. Maybe he lied about a few other things. I'm going to keep leaning on him. Let's have Juan and Maria Perez in tomorrow. Hear what they might know about this. Morning, Sheriff.
Morning, Matt. Juan and Maria Perez.
Nice of you to come down. Maria, Juan. Sheriff, suppose you take Maria inside. Juan, I'd like you to come over here and sit down, please. Juan, you could be in for a lot of trouble on this Jordan killing. I want to help you, but I can't help you unless you tell me the truth about Senor Jordan. When did you see him last? Was he with your sister last night? Juan, you're not helping anything by refusing to talk. Did you see Jordan last night? Ever seen this before?
Yes, it is mine. I lost it.
When?
I don't know.
You're lying.
Where did you find it?
In Jordan's back. Do you still say you don't know when you lost this knife?
What good would it do me to tell you? You wouldn't believe me anyway.
Sheriff, bring Maria in. Sit down, Maria. Maria, how did you feel about Pete Jordan?
I loved him.
Did he love you?
He wanted to marry me.
So you'd like to see his murderer captured, wouldn't you? You are worried about your brother, aren't you? Why did Jordan go to see Juan last night?
How did you know that?
Then he did go see him. Why?
He wanted Juan's permission for us to marry.
What did Juan do?
He refused.
And they fought? Didn't they?
No, no.
Maria, this is Juan's knife. He admits it. This is the weapon that was used to kill Jordan. Do you still say that they didn't fight last night? Sheriff, bring Juan in.
Juan se lo dije.
¿Cuánto?
Porque estaba con Pedro.
Me has matado. Senor Wayne. This is what happened. Jordan came to the house last night. It was the usual talk about wanting to marry Maria. Then Carter came. They had bad words between them. And then they left, almost together. And then I went to my room. And when I came back, my knife was gone. Either one of them could have taken it, senor. That's all I know.
Is there anybody can testify that you spent the rest of the night at your house?
No, senor.
What about your sister?
She has been staying with our aunt ever since we fought about Jordan.
Juan, I'm going to lock you up.
Senor.
It's for your own protection.
Then I am a dead man. They will take me before the courts. No one will believe me.
That's not true.
What Yankee would believe the word of a Mexican against some gringo? They will hang me, senor.
Take him back, Sheriff.
Maria. Murietta!
Maria, I'm doing it for his own good.
You lie, gringo. You're going to kill him. But you will not. There is one even stronger than you.
If you're thinking about Murietta, forget it. You haven't got a chance.
We shall see, senor.
Want Carter brought in?
No.
You think Juan was lying?
I think Carter was lying, but we haven't got enough evidence to bring him in.
You got Juan's statement.
Juan was right. Do you think any jury would convict Carter with a Mexican's testimony? Not a chance.
Well, then why hold him?
Jail is the safest place for him until we get the evidence we need.
What kind of evidence?
Carter's motives for murder. I'm gonna put Carter under observation. I'm gonna find out everything about him. How he thinks, the things he said to people, everything. We'll keep the pressure on him until he makes a mistake. And believe me, Shab, a man with Carter's conscience has to make mistakes. During the next couple of days, I learned a lot about Carter. One thing stood out. There was no love lost between him and Jordan. Carter and he had quarreled over the girl. Carter felt that if Jordan married her, their banking business would go to pieces.
He was more than a partner. He was my friend. Oh, we had our differences, but he was still my friend, my best friend. And now he's dead. Knifed in the back in a fight over a worthless Mexican woman. I know what he'd do if it was me that was dead that way. He wouldn't wait for any trial. He'd take that Perez out and hang him. But I guess we aren't all men, as Jordan was a man. I guess we haven't got the guts to teach these people a lesson.
Matt, Mayor Geary's here, wants to talk to you.
Murietta. Good morning, Colonel.
Matt, they're raising the devil with me uptown. The people want to know why you haven't brought Perez to trial.
Not enough evidence, for one thing.
But the prosecutor says there's enough for an indictment.
You tell the prosecutor that I'm handling the police work. When I'm ready, I'll turn Jordan's killer over to him.
You're asking for trouble, Matt. Mob trouble. The people are stirred up about Jordan's murder.
I bought nothing but trouble when I put this on. When I can't handle trouble, I'll take it off.
I say there isn't a man among us who doesn't risk his life every time he goes into that Mexican quarter. I say the only thing that can keep us safe is to show these people we mean business. I say there's only one way to show them. And that's with a short shrift and a long drop at the end of a rope. If you're with me, come on.
Matt, Carter's got a mob stirred up. They're coming after Juan.
We gotta get Juan out of here. Go get a team and a rig. Bring him around the rear of the jail. Hurry up. I want every man on the force down in the Mexican quarter with shotguns. If the mob tries to break up the quarter, tell him to shoot and shoot straight.
Where you taking him?
Sacramento jail. He'll be safe there. Yep.
¡Estás loco, Juanito! No lo mates. Es gringo bueno. ¡Pero es gringo! No! He will not kill you this time. But do not look for me, senor, or you will die.
¡Viva Murietta!
It's the most preposterous thing that I've ever heard of, to take a dangerous criminal out of a cell, then lose him to a mob of Mexican cutthroats.
All right, I made a mistake. I shouldn't have come back alive, maybe. But I didn't make any mistake when I took Perez away from Carter's lynch
You were
mob.
warned that Murietta was in the neighborhood, right here in San Francisco.
Every peace officer in California has been warned that he was in their neighborhood.
What do you mean by that?
That either Murietta's riding around the country on his own private bull to chain lightning, or there are at least a dozen of him. Look at this. Murietta reported in Sacramento. A day later on the Tuolumne. Day after that, Stockton. 3 days later, Pueblo de Los Angeles. 6 days to be reported in places hundreds of miles apart.
Are you trying to tell me there's no such a person as Murietta?
No, Just saying that if we all run and hide under the bed, every time some fool reports that he's seen Murietta, we better get out of this country. Move back to the east of the Mississippi. No, Murietta may be real enough. Too many of his people believe in him to prove otherwise. I sure would like to see what he looks like. Just once.
A lot of Americans have seen Murietta once. Then they were dead. Now, what are you going to do about Perez?
Go after him. Bring him in. Would you do me a favor?
Anything, of course.
See if you can find Carter. I think he's over at that saloon. I want him to know that I'm going after Perez.
All right, Matt. Say what you please about Matt Wayne, gentlemen. Perhaps he was a little foolish in his Perez affair, but no one can question his courage. Now, he's going out after him, and I'm willing to lay a little wager that he'll bring him back.
Dead or alive?
Alive.
Better dead.
You'd like that, wouldn't you, Carter? Perez didn't kill Jordan. I know who killed him. I have evidence of his motives, his need to kill Jordan. All I need is one clinching bit of testimony that the killer was with Jordan the night of his murder. That's why I'm going to bring in Perez alive. The jury will accept a Mexican's testimony. They'll hang a killer. A gambler's hunch is like a woman's intuition. Sometimes it's false. But my only lead to Juan Perez was through his sister. Somehow, along the grapevine telegraph, word would come to her of her brother. She would go to him. I'd be along, too. Far enough behind so she wouldn't know I was there. Too close to lose her.
Lléveme donde mi hermano.
No la siguió nadie.
No a nadie.
Sígame.
You are late getting here.
I had to be sure I was not followed.
You weren't sure enough. How many men did you bring with you that you come in here so bravely, senor?
I'm alone.
You lie.
Fire a shot.
You are a fool, senor. You will die for this.
If that's the way the cards fall, that's the way it has to be.
Don't count on gratitude. I owe you nothing. I paid you for what I owed you back there before. But because you are brave, senor, I will let you die quickly. Any other gringo would know much pain first.
If you'd gunned down an unarmed man, you might as well play the complete coward. Shoot me in the back.
No, no, Juan. Senor, please. If we let you go, will you go in peace?
Be quiet, Maria.
No. Answer, senor.
I came to take Juan back with me, and I'm not leaving without him. And if you kill me, you'll be killing a lot of your own people.
What do you mean?
Every rabble-rouser in San Francisco is out on the streets screaming for Mexican scalps. I've got every man on the force down there to try and protect your friends and your family. But how long can 30 policemen, half of them recruits, hold out against a mob like that?
You expect me to risk my neck to save my people? You expect a lot, senor.
I'm asking you to go back and testify against Carter.
This is a trick. You think I killed Jordan because you found my knife in his body.
Don't forget about me. I'm thinking about the jury. I have evidence that Carter had a strong motive, but you've got to tell them that he stole your knife the night that Jordan was killed.
How can I believe a gringo? You are all liars.
You know, in your way, your people are as bad as mine. You won't believe an American even when he's speaking the truth. And an American won't believe a Mexican when he's speaking the truth. Well, one of us better start believing the other pretty soon.
He's right, Juan.
How can I know you are right?
Because you know you're not guilty, don't you?
You believe this?
Yes. Let's get started.
I had to shoot him, senor.
It was him or me. Thanks. Who shot me?
Murietta.
How bad is it?
You're going to die. A man like you, with all you had, reputation, wealth. Why would a man like you want to commit murder? Don't you want to get it off your conscience? Begin at the beginning.
Jordan was ruining me. Gambling. Losing company money. I pleaded with him, but he just laughed at me. He was gonna marry a Mexican girl. That would have been the final blow. We'd have lost all our business. People don't want to deal with men who marry Mexicans. So I had to kill him.
With Juan Perez's knife.
I had to.
Sign it.
Will you? Pray for me, Marshal.
I'm taking you in for murder.
Murder? You said I was gonna die.
You are. At the end of a rope.
Senor Wayne, why are you not enjoying yourself?
Well, a peace officer is never off duty. I thought Murietta might be among these people.
I am sure that he is. Murietta is everywhere.
And nowhere.
You know, don't you, about Murietta? How did you find out?
That Murietta was a myth? It had to be that way. He was reported too many places at the same time. No one man could travel that fast. It had to be lots of men.
Well, there were men who used the name of Murietta because it was feared. Now that you know the secret, I suppose you will tell, and the legend of Murietta will die.
I won't say anything. As long as people are poor and deprived of their rights, they need a champion to avenge their wrongs. It gives them strength to live, strength to go on fighting for their rights. I won't destroy that legend, Maria. Murietta will live as long as your people need him. And I hope that won't be too long. A clatter of hooves in the night. A rider whose face is never seen, racing across the face of the land to avenge the wrongs of his people.
California. Oh, I've traveled here, I've traveled there. I guess I've been most everywhere. But I like where I am today, and here is where I'll stay. Now, one thing I just can't endure is being broke and being poor. So I come west to take the cure, and here is where I'll stay. I've come to California, California. There's gold in them there hills in California. I've come to live where life is best, in the golden west. I'm gonna strike it rich in California, California, California. There's gold in them there hills in California.